You mentioned coffee, out loud. Just once. And then, there it was. An ad for the exact brand. Sitting right there in your feed, smiling at you like an old friend who showed up uninvited. And you thought, my phone is listening. Comforting, isn't it? Because if the phone is listening, you can do something about it. Cover the microphone, revoke permissions. Wrap the thing in tinfoil if you're feeling theatrical. There's a villain, there's a weapon, there's a solution. A neat little story with a beginning, a middle, and a satisfying ending. Except it's a fairy tale. The microphone trick? It was tried. Years ago. Some companies experimented with ambient audio detection, picking up keywords from background conversations. And you know what they discovered? It was garbage. Messy, expensive, legally radioactive, and here's the part that should concern you. Wildly inaccurate compared to what replaced it. They didn't stop listening because someone told them it was wrong. They stopped because they found something better. Far better. So efficient, so elegant, that the microphone became what a horse-drawn carriage is to a jet engine. An embarrassment. And now, the interesting part. The system that replaced it doesn't need to hear you. It doesn't need to see you. It doesn't need you to type a single word about what you want. Because it already knows. Not after you decide. Before. 24 to 72 hours before you consciously realize you want something, the prediction is already made. The ad is already queued. The slot is already purchased. You haven't thought the thought yet, and somewhere, in a server farm you'll never visit, the thought has already been monetized. How? Let me walk you through the architecture. Because it's not magic, it's engineering. And engineers don't care about your feelings, they care about efficiency. Start with your typing rhythm. Not what you type. How you type. The cadence between keystrokes. The micro-hesitations. The speed at which you delete a word and retype it. This alone creates a behavioral fingerprint more unique than your actual fingerprint. You didn't know you had a typing signature, but they did. Now add your contact graph. Not just who you call, who your friend searched for, what your coworker bought last Tuesday, what your partner browsed at 2 in the morning. You are not an individual in this system. You are a node in a web, and the web vibrates when anyone in it moves. Your friend searches for hiking boots, and suddenly you see ads for trail mix. What a remarkable coincidence that your desires so neatly align with the people around you. Coincidence? Maybe. But I wouldn't bet on it. Now layer in your location patterns. Not where you are right now. Where you were last Thursday at 6:14 in the evening. How long you lingered outside that store. Which aisle you paused in, measured by the Bluetooth beacons pulsing from the shelves. The other devices that were near yours. Not your devices, other people's devices. Creating a shadow map of your social reality that you never consented to and never even perceived. And here it starts to get uncomfortable. Your phone has a gyroscope, a tiny sensor that measures orientation and motion. It knows if you're lying in bed, standing in line, pacing nervously, sitting still in a way that suggests focus, or in a way that suggests boredom. Your physical posture is data. Your restlessness is data. The angle at which you hold the screen, data. Your bank, your loyalty cards. Every purchase you made with a card instead of cash created a record that was sold, aggregated, anonymized. A word that deserves its own set of quotation marks. And cross-referenced with your browsing history. They told you the data was anonymous. And technically, in isolation, it was. But when you combine an anonymous purchase record with an anonymous browsing session, with an anonymous location ping, with an anonymous device signature, something funny happens. The anonymous person gets a face. Your face. Did you notice? No? Then allow me to draw your attention to it. The system doesn't need your name. Names are for humans. The system needs a probability cluster, a bundle of behavioral signals dense enough to predict action. And you, with your habits, your roots, your rhythms, your hesitations, you are one of the most predictable probability clusters ever assembled. You were told the internet is free. What you weren't told is that the price was legibility. Total, granular, continuous legibility. Every micro decision you make is recorded not as surveillance in the dramatic cinematic sense. No one is watching you through a camera, but as raw material. Behavioral ore, mined and refined into prediction. And prediction is the product. Not you, not your attention, your future behavior. Sold in advance, to the highest bidder. The companies that do this, the data brokers, the aggregation platforms, the identity resolution services. They don't hide. They have websites. They have sales teams. They publish white papers explaining exactly how they stitch your fragmented digital shadow back into a single targetable profile. It's not a conspiracy. It's a business model. Published, documented, legal. The system isn't broken. It works exactly as intended. And that microphone myth you've been clinging to? It serves them beautifully. Because while you're busy covering your mic and feeling clever, the actual infrastructure hums along untouched. You're locking the front door while the walls are made of glass. Someone decided this was more convenient, and it wasn't you. You were offered a choice: accept cookies, manage preferences, decline optional tracking. And of course, you made it. You clicked the button. You felt agency. Meanwhile, the device fingerprint was already captured before the pop-up even loaded. So here you are. You can turn off your microphone, you can disable your camera, you can delete your apps, switch browsers, use a VPN, pay in cash, leave your phone at home, and the system will still know what you want for dinner on Thursday. Because the uncomfortable truth isn't that they're listening. It's that listening was the primitive version, the version they outgrew, the version that required effort. What replaced it requires nothing from you at all. Nothing except existing, moving through space, having patterns, being human. So if they no longer need to hear you to know what you want, ask yourself something. Quietly. Not out loud. It doesn't matter anymore. What else don't they need from you anymore?